Hi everybody, today is Wednesday. Oh god. Oh, September 19th. This is my 15th Flosstube video. My name is Vicky. If you haven't been here before, StitchNButton. If you have been here before, welcome back. I got a little bit done this week. More sewing and some stitching in there and a finish. So we're doing good. I got a dog over here that wants pets. Don't mind the hair. I took a shower. I'm freshly washed for you. If we had smell-o-vision, you'd be happy. Let's start out with what? Let's start out with... I am going to announce the giveaway winners for the 2 small Mill Hill kits. I'm going to have another giveaway. It's almost Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Just, what, a week and a half? It'll be October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I have a little story for you at the end and a little giveaway. So let's get going. What have I'm looking around to see what have I been doing. I did the spin the wheel thing a few times. I didn't have a lot of time to stitch, and now I've got itchy Flosstube moves. I didn't have a lot of time to stitch because I did a lot of sewing. I think I had 14 bags I sewed up. I only have one left. I have a Betty Boop left. And now, the past few days, I've been cutting more bags. I have 27 bags, which I had to put into a laundry hamper because I stack up all the parts. So they're in a laundry hamper, and they have the back piece, the inside piece, the fleece, the 2 little strips, the zipper, and the vinyl. And they're all in stacks, and they started falling off where I had them. So I went and got a laundry basket, put them in there. And it's kind of heavy, actually, believe it or not. Dense. I've got some new prints. I've got Halloween and Christmas. And a couple of off prints, like, I have a couple of Harry Potter, a couple Star Wars, and Supergirl, Superwomen. Women superheroes one that I'm doing. So I spun the wheel on the 6th. I'm looking at my notes. I spun the wheel on the 6th, and it said Winter Wonderland. So I pulled out Winter Wonderland. That is a Mill Hill kit that I had started for my throwdown. This is on my throwdown wheel. I don't have a before picture because I don't edit, as you know. Oh my goodness, which way is up? Okay, this way is up. Shoo. So this is what it's going to look like. It's got a ton of beads, and it's on this blue perforated paper, and you stitch with 3 strands. And this is where... You'd think that I just started last week. I know I've done this before. Let's do this. I got this other chart sitting here. Okay. So here's what I got done. I think I finally finished everything in the center tree, and then I started working down here and down, just trying to follow along with the colors. Right now you can see where I sort of trailed it over. Because when it's not too bad because there's stitch in there. But when it's 3 strands, it's such a pain in the rear end to get up underneath the threads on perforated paper. So, but I did get some done. I was actually watching. I didn't watch this week's Eagles game. I'm glad I didn't. I'd probably have no hair left, or it'd look crazier than this. I did watch last week's game, so that was a Thursday. I must have worked on it, and that was giving me heart attacks, but I did get some stitching done. I spun the wheel again, because I worked on this for a bit, and I was like, let me work on something else. And actually, I don't even think I spun the wheel. I was just like, you know what? Let me do a little bit on Here Lie My Needles. That one's by Teresa Shakespeare Peddler. And I know a lot have seen this before. Bendy did it. That's what it's supposed to look like when it's done. There's a couple things about this chart that actually I'm a little annoyed, honestly. I'm having problems reading the chart. I was working on it again last night, and I realized why I can't pick it up and just get a whole bunch done, because there's not a lot of elements. After you do the dress, which is like a big block of stuff, there's not a ton, so you could just get some stuff done and, you know, bang it out. But I can't read even with my cheaters on, I'm having problems reading some of the symbols. Let's see if I can show you this without showing you too much of the pattern. That is a 2. The blocks are too small for the oh my God, words, for the symbols. And then there's another one where there's an arrow and you can barely tell the arrow because it's touching the actual grid lines. So that it makes it really hard for me to want to stitch it if it's going to give me a headache reading the chart. I guess I could try to enlarge it, maybe? Anyway, but I did work on it twice. The first time I worked on it, I did the tree. It was, once I figured out what the colors were, it was a no-brainer on this stitch, and I just did the tree. Last night, I pulled it out again, and I said, well, let me try, and that's when I figured out the number 2, and it's a light green. Now, I'm not using all the called for colors. I'm using some of them. That green that I just pointed out, and I'm looking here, it's Lemon Mint by Dinky Dyes. It's like a really light green. So that's what I got done. Not much. Like I said, I should be able to whip through a lot of that, especially those small motifs. But it's so hard to read. It's not as enjoyable as I thought it would be to stitch. And this is supposed to be one of my throwdown pieces. I don't know if I'm gonna get it done. That's another thing that's sort of hindering it, is this fabric that I'm using. I'm not gonna use a background. I don't know if you could see the weave. Some of the linen threads are pushed together and pulled apart, and pushed together and pulled apart. So I'm having to realign those little threads also as I go along, and it's my own fault. I wrote it down. It's Irish linen. It's tea color Irish linen from Charles Crafts. So I probably shouldn't have used crappy linen then, huh? Make sure I have everything in there. Alright, so that's Here Lie My Needles and Winter Wonderland. And then I spun the wheel again, and it gave me Pumpkin Patch, which is a small Charlin design. This is what it'll look like when it's done. It just says Pumpkin Patch. It has that cookie cutter charm with it. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll pull it out and start that. Cool, it came up on the wheel. Yeah, it was a kit, but it didn't have the fabric. And it says it doesn't have the fabric. You know, if you read. Anyway, so I ended up picking fabric, and I even asked my friends. I had a couple choices. I was like, what do you think? So we decided on this, like, rusty brown rusty color. Looks like a purplish color. It's really cool, and I'm trying to do it up in this darker area. I didn't want to really hit the lighter area too much. This piece of fabric is, I think it's a mystery piece. I think it's a 36 count that I had in my stash, and I had no label on it, but it was cool. So I knew I'd use it for something, and look, I was right. That was Pumpkin Patch. Now, let me see what else was next. Oh, so then I ended up rolling I'm not using Tiny Decisions. I'm using Decision Maker, and it also does a lot of duplicates. I know Bendy said her Tiny Decisions app is doing a lot of duplicates too. It likes duplicates, and I don't know, sometimes I'm disappointed in it, or, you know, because sometimes you just want to do something different. But then you could always make that decision to not do that one, huh? Anyway, so it pulled up EAP Macabre. So it's got my Nevermore piece, my Edgar Allan Poe that was supposed to be for the hashtag EAP Macabre sale for Bewitched Stitches. Didn't get them done, but I did get, I think, from before I finished the M, I started here, and I did a few more rows of hair up here. I might have done the M, but little bits, little bits. Every stitch counts. He sits over here for right now. Then I pulled out Neighbor Ray. That was next on the wheel. Neighbor Ray got some more white because he's got a big old bottom. And I told Steph I'm leaving his head for last just to bother her. I know it's driving her crazy, this headless guy with a cup of coffee. I'm sure it's supposed to be hot cocoa. I say it's coffee. It's mine. There's Neighbor Ray. I have his picture. You could see what it's supposed to look like when it's done. He's got a really long nose. I wonder if I want to shorten that nose. I don't know. And he could like smell you from across the room with that nose. Alright, what was next? Oh, then I spun Cardinal Winter. And I was like, you know what? That's good, because that's small, and I think I can get that done. And I started sewing, and I didn't get done, and then I decided to stay with it. And it took 3 days, but I finally got it done. It's my finish. I wrote it down somewhere. It's on the internet. I think it's in my Instagram also, which is StitchNButton Crafts. No. That's my stuff. QNVIKKI. I think I put it on that account and on my Facebook. But this was a Silk Weaver piece, and I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it was 32 count. And it was from Silk Weaver. I'm pretty sure it was one of those shortcuts that I cut out. And I chose this instead of that color because I wanted it to look more like a bright winter day. And then if you can't fix it, feature it. And technically I guess I could have fixed it, but this bunny, I noticed after I started doing the tree that his ear was up too high, and then I realized he's got an Adam's apple. That's going to be the boy bunny, isn't it? So there he is. There are supposed to be 4 white stitches, like sort of in a diamond shape here. I knew they weren't going to show up. The music notes are barely showing up. So I decided not to even try to stitch them in there, and I dug out these charms that I had to put in there instead, which happened to just go right over the trees. It almost looks like stars on the trees. I used the called for DMCs, but it called for, I think, a classic Colorworks or Crescent Colors, who knows. Well, let me look. Crescent Colors, 2 Crescent Colors, English Ivy and Roasted Chestnut. I did not have either one of those, so I used a green from Weeks Dye Works. And then for the Roasted Chestnut, which I believe is the bunnies, I used something called Brandy from a company called Spirit. Oh my goodness. Totally lost my mind. Anyway, you can't get it anymore anyway, so why even say what it is? You can't find it anymore. It's like, Windy Spirit Farms or something like that. It used to be a guy, Michael. He dropped off. Back in the Yahoo days, I knew him. And I have not seen or spoken, I should say, spoken to him in over 10 years. And I guess the business never really took off the way it should have, but he had some nice threads, and I have them, some of them, a lot of them. So I use them when I can, because why not? I mean, what are they going to do, rot? No, I can use it for something. So, anyway, that was my one finish, and it's not ironed because I'm getting ready. Matter of fact, it's going in my basket here with my bags, because after I'm done this, I'll probably start ironing, because I cut, and then I iron, and tape in the zipper, and I sew that, and then I sew everything together, and then I press around the edges to make it nice and clean. So, alright, that was Cardinal Winter by Little House. It's my one and only finish. It was a small, but hey, everything's a good one, right? And then what have I bought 2 charts. I lie. I bought 2 charts, and I don't know. Let me see if I can. They're on Etsy. And they are Wizard of Oz charts. And I'm going to see if I can't bring the pictures up here. Hold please, right? Anyway, so they're 2 Wizard of Oz charts from an Etsy company. One is the hot air balloon, says Omaha. It's in greens. And then the other one is the Wicked Witch. And I am going to my purchases on Etsy, because it should be right there. Oh, yep, the Elfin Forest. THEELFINFOREST is the name, because there's no spaces on that store name. And let's see if this will come up right. It says State Fair, Omaha. Got that one. And then Wicked Witch. It's called Wicked Witch of the West cross stitch pattern. Also by Elfin Forest. The Elfin Forest. And it's cute. As much as I love, of course, the Evil Witch, for some reason I'm really liking that hot air balloon. And what she's saying is, oh, what a world, what a world. I'm melting up top. I just thought that was cool. Anyway, they were $6 a piece on here, and I think I got a discount. They were on sale. That's why I bought them. Every once in a while, if you go to your favorites on Etsy, and all the stuff you favorite, see if it's on sale. I saved 40% on 2 of them. So that's probably why I was like, oh, let me buy something. That was the only thing that I purchased that I've received so far. I did get a couple of things in the mail that I wanted to share. One was a card from my mom. This cat. Can you stand it? I already showed the stuff. And it says on the inside, I may have gone green, but I'm still thinking chocolate. And then my mom signed it, Yo Mama. It's up there so I could look at it and get a good laugh every once in a while. I also received a card from somebody, and I'm not going to read what it is, but I just wanted to share the card. It almost, I thought when I first took it out that it was one of those mailable, like, coasters, mug rug coaster type things, but it's not. It's just a card with the corners rounded off. And this isn't my camera being blurry, the picture's blurry on the card because it's a fog scene. And I had Steph show Pam. Hey Pam, are you jealous? You should be jealous of this card because it was a gorgeous card. And then I received this last time and I meant to show it and I forgot. The pineapples, and they have glitter on them, so you know. But the pineapples, it's so festive. It was a card from a friend of mine. So I have that book that I haven't started yet, Audrey, that I'm saving those for, but I just thought those were cool. And then I received a package from my friend Jay Long. We tend to send each other packages every once in a while. And socks, we like to send each other socks. And she sent me a package and I got these cool socks. Star Spangled Awesome. Now, they would have been in season if she sent them in June when she packed the package. But she slacked. She kept on telling me, oh yeah, I have a package coming to you. And then she kept on, one time she made it to the post office, she forgot to bring the address. She also, I broke Flosstube rules. I started the gummies. They're gummy brains. How do you not eat the gummy brains? And no regrets, by the way. I don't even feel bad about it. You'll be alright. And she found me this. Mystifying Mints. Jan Darkside Stitcher should be jealous. Because I got mints and she didn't. And she asked me if I didn't even get to open them yet. Because I was too busy with the gummies. You're right, Jay Long. They are special shapes. They're the planchets. They're in the Ouija planchet shape. I figured they'd just be little round dots. And hey, at least their package says since they've been sitting since June, so maybe they will. I'll tell you how, if I die or not. Maybe you'll read in the paper, huh? Keep an eye out for Okeechobee News. It doesn't take long to read the paper. I think it's all 6 pages, even on a Sunday. So, well, in that package, there's some stitchy stuff, stitchy gifts. I got some fabric flare fabrics, and she threatened to send this a while ago, and she finally did. It's the Beehive fabric from Fabric Flare. This one's a 28 count, and it's got gold flecks in it. And this is Arctic Ice Opal, 32 count. And the opal isn't, it's not, you can sort of see it now. It's not the big glitter that some of the fabrics have, which I like. This is coming about almost true. Let me see if I can. Okay, so it's like a light blue, and it's darker than this, but lighter than this. Sorry, that's all I got for you. Maybe. Okay, this side. This side with the paper. That's about it. It's really cool, though. Love that. And then she sent me some tiny blue snow. It's got snowflakes. This would have been really cool if she would have sent it back probably in June. Did I even start Cardinal Winter back in June? Because, hey, J Long, you're kind of late. This could have been great for my Cardinal Winter. And I got Lilac, 32 count. It's an even weave. It's a light purple with modeling, and it's not that light of a purple. It's getting washed out because of crappy lighting. I think you could look these up online too if you really wanted to see the true colors. It's Fabric Flare, so. Then there's some blue, which is called Even 32 Even Weave Blue, and it's just a sky blue. There's not much modeling in it. I think even the modeling would sort of show up, but there's not much. I think it's just evenly colored, which is nice for my snowman patterns. And this one's really cool. This one's called Purple Peacock. It's a 32 even weave. That's almost true to color. It's a little bit more washed out than what's showing on my screen. Like that. And then this one's just called Pink and Blue. It's 32 count even weave. And that's about it. Yeah. That's cool. Thank you, J Long. I loved it, and I've been I kept on knocking the whole package on the floor. Like, I've been waiting to get it put away, and now I might have to pull out that snowflake stuff because I have Seasons of Love to work on. And I'm wondering if that won't look good on there. So, I had... Oh, plans. I plan on doing something for the Bewitched Stitch sales. They have 2 stitch-alongs going along, and one is the Happy Halloween sale, which I think I'm doing Boo and Frankenboo, so that should be hashtag Happy Halloween sale. And then they have a Day of the Dead sale, which is hashtag Day of the Dead sale. All one word. So if you guys want to join in, feel free to join in, even if you're not on Facebook in the group. If you're on Facebook, join the group. We'd love to have you. If you just want to join in on the sale, go ahead and just hashtag it on Instagram, and they are at Bewitched Stitches. So feel free. We also, over on Candy Cane Stitchers, I moderate that. We are having a sale there for an ornament sale. Last year was a just Cross Stitch magazine ornament sale. This year we open it up to any magazine ornament, which you don't want to dictate everything, but you want to give people options. You sort of want to give it some kind of theme, but you want to make sure that a lot of people can join in. So we figured, why not all the magazines? So we're doing an ornament stitch along, and it's hashtag CCS for Candy Cane Stitchers. CCS Ornie, ORNIE Sal, and I'll put all that in the descriptions. And that's Candy Cane Stitchers on Facebook. What else do I have going on? I have... Sorry, gotta look at notes because I can't remember my name. Okay, so let's do the giveaway winners. My giveaway winners I had for the barn, for this kit. It's just the remnants. It's just some threads and some leftover beads, and I think I even might have thrown the needle back in there. And it's got a little magnet in it. So that's all it is. You're going to need your own paper, and you probably need more threads and that button. Or not a button. And the person that won that was Tina Deloach. And I'll tell you how I did this, because I'm real scientific like that. I had 2 people ask for each one of them. It's a 50-50 chance somebody was going to win. What I did was I wrote down everybody's name and what they were asking for, and then when I cut the strips, I put the barn on one side, the witch on the other. I fold them real small, and I mixed them up, and I laid them down. There was a left and a right. And then I messaged my friend Jen, and I said, Jen, left or right? Well, I explained to her what I was doing, because I didn't want her to think she was being finagled into doing something crazy, because that could happen too. Anyway, so I told her left or right, and she actually chose right both times. And Tina Deloach, you were on the right for the barn. Now for the witch, this Autumn Harvest, this little witch, again, there's the pin, the extra beads, and threads, and I have this piece of ribbon in there too. So she picked right, and Frosty X Stitch Dawn, you're the winner for that one. Dawn, because this is going overseas, let me know if you're not going to use the pin, I'm not going to send it. Because the flatter it is, I might be able to get away with just putting it in a card. So you get a snazzy card with a cute chart in it? Yes? Let me know. So, Dawn Frosty X Stitch, you won the witch. Tina Deloach, you won the barn. If you will message me either on Facebook, I'm at if you look up StitchNButton on Facebook, my StitchNButton page is there. I am StitchNButton Crafts on Instagram, or QNVIKKI on Instagram, any 3 of those. And I will also add my email to, I'm writing it down. You could use my StitchNButton at Gmail for this account, you could email me. I'm going to need your address. Don't give me your address, I can't mail it, right? And I'll go on your, hopefully you're watching this, but I'll go on your comment from last week and let you know. So that'll give you a little heads up. This week I wanted, I don't kill me. I still haven't sent the necklaces, but halfway there I got them in an envelope. I just have to write the address on there. I have to get over to the post office, and that's when I know I'm taking that trip to the post office, it will go with me. But I am sending those with a little note. Last week I was doing some beading for the bags because I make my own zipper pulls for the bags. And once I did it, I realized the zipper pull, the scissor fob that I was using needed to be restrung. And it reminded me of a story, which leads to the story you're going to have to listen to. And I wish you would listen to it anyway. And my giveaway. So, back before I was doing scissor fobs and stuff like that, before 2007. So it had to be 2005, 2006, somewhere around there. A friend of mine by the name of Anita Fine, she started making scissor fobs, and I bought one from her, and I just told her I wanted blue. Now what she sent me was this, not this, and I'll explain why that's there now. So she sent it to me. Now I've had it for so long, it started to stretch some, so there was like a lot of space and slack in between the wires, and when she did it, she just crimped it down here. When I do them, I prefer to crimp up here, if I can. Anyway, I really like it. It's beautiful. Anita was a friend to just about anybody. She was from New York, and some of you that are watching might actually even remember her. Excuse me. She lived in New York, and last year we lost her to breast cancer. I honestly had no doubt in my mind she was going to live. This is Anita. She's a fighter. I never thought that she'd die, and she did. And she was young. I know she was in her early 50s, so she wasn't 12, but she still had a lot of years ahead of her. And she left a long... excuse me. She left behind a lot of cross-stitch friends from the Yahoo days. She was part of the Too Much X-Stitch group on Yahoo. She was one of the moderators. And she made the... oh my goodness, excuse me. I knew it was coming. Allergies. Anyway, so I restrung it because it was getting stretched out, and since she is gone, I added this little heart with wings to the bottom of it, because I'll keep it forever, of course. I know a couple of friends that have gone through breast cancer. A couple of them didn't make it, and a few of them did. A lot of them did. And I'm very thankful for that. So that being said, I had made a while ago some sets of pink and white zipper pulls and scissor fobs. So I have a set here, excuse me, that I'd like to give away, because in 2 weeks, that's almost October anyway, so by the time you get it, it will be October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I want to give away this. It says Hope. And this matching zipper pull. It's same beads, same charm, just a little shorter. I'd like to give that set away to one person. And what you can type in the comments is I support breast cancer awareness. And I would appreciate if you did, whether it be monetary or educational. You know, sometimes you can't afford to give to every charity that's out there. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Sometimes you can't afford to give to every charity that's out there, and I get it. But education is also key. Go get your checks, especially if you have a history of cancer in your family. Go get your checks. Go, and also know that men get breast cancer too. I used to work for the Shea Institute, and we had men call in because we dealt with also scheduling for mammograms, fielding those calls, and men always felt awkward calling and saying that they needed a mammogram. It's not awkward. You have breast tissue. You call your pecs, it's a breast. Anyway, if you would like to be entered into that giveaway to say I support breast cancer awareness. And if you knew Anita, let me know. That would be great. I know that there's gonna be thousands. We went cross-stitch shows. She's to travel all the time. She always went to like cross-stitch cruises. I was always jealous. And she sent me a picture from hell. I forget what island it's on. I'm sure somebody knows. She was on a cruise. I thought it was great. Anyway, she went to a cross-stitch cruises and a Spirit of Cross-Stitch shows, and we met up in, her and Peggy and I went to the one in King of Prussia. She had come, Anita and Val came down from New York, and I think we went to Chinatown and ate, if I'm not mistaken, before when I lived in Philly. So that was great, and there's just it's always been good memories, and she is definitely missed. Otherwise, I think that's about wrapping it up. I do have just a few things that I added to my Etsy store if you're interested, and a little bit of a story to go with that. First of all, they're needle minders, and I was sitting here getting the stuff ready for this video, and I'm eating Mike and Ike's out of this box. These are actually pretty good, Berry Blast. So I just put them on the table, you know, spill some on the table, and I had them sitting there, and I'm reaching back because my laptop's over there, and I'm trying to get a Mike and Ike, and I go and grab one, and I grab this instead. I guess I shouldn't have the Mike and Ikes next to the needle minders. I almost ate it. Almost. Not quite. Anyway, so if you are interested in these witch boots, which is a needle minder that has not been chewed, by the way, you can go to my Etsy. I will definitely link it down below. Here is a vampire. He's cute. And a cameo of a sugar skull. Those were all added this week. I will have, if you're interested in the project bags, I will have a bunch of those listed on my StitchNButton page on Facebook and the StitchNButton crafts on Instagram. Like I said, I have 27 of them that I'm sewing up. I know 4 of them are pre-orders, but stay tuned if you're interested. That would be great. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody watching my video, and please subscribe and like. That'd be great. I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear any questions you had for me. That's all I got. So, remember, if you can't fix it, feature it, and don't let anybody steal your sunshine. Have a great one.